I struggled with my opening because I wasn't sure, as the rabbi mentioned earlier, how to greet everybody. So Merry Yom Kippur, everybody. I will say that despite the solemn nature of today's holiday, it's great to see this sanctuary full again. This is the way it's supposed to be. For those who don't know me, I'm Seth Litman, and for those who don't know my family, Mary and I have been members of Temple Kehillat Chaim since 1998. Yes, 1998, before we had children. We now have Henry, Abby, and Sam, who are 22, 19, and 15. All three went through the religious school. All three had bat mitzvahs. All three enjoy coming to TKC, and all have lots of friends here. I tell you that not to brag on my kids, but to brag on TKC. TKC made these things happen and is a central part of our family. Over the past 25 years, I can't believe it's 25 years, this is the place from where our and our children's Jewish identities have emanated, and where our Kehillat, our community, is. I am up here to do this year's appeal, but my appeal is not just to seek your continued financial support and keep the doors open, the lights on, and the staff paid. We of course need that, and ask for your generous contributions this high holiday season. But just as importantly, I am up here after an agonizing pandemic, seeking for you and your families to come back and be active participants in the temple. I want TKC to be your and your family's Kehillat, just like it has been for my family over the past 25 years. A short story. Last year, when I was asked if I would accept the nomination for TKC president, it was just before the winter holidays. After I accepted, and after the shock of saying yes, of course, my first thought was, oh geez, I gotta do the high holiday appeal. Well, maybe I didn't use the word geez. Now, this may sound odd since I'm standing up here on Yom Kippur, but during the holiday season, the winter holiday season, I like to watch A Christmas Carol. You know the story. Guy makes it in business and financially, but does so in a way that he alienates everyone he interacts with by being singularly focused on money while ignoring the needs of others. So despite his financial success, he was an unhappy human being, was universally disliked, and ridiculed for his terrible demeanor. Suddenly, spirits appear, show him his life missteps and how to overcome them. So given this interest in the time of the year that I accepted the nomination, I was planted in front of the tube watching Patrick Stewart, AKA Captain Picard, fly around the screen with his spirit friends. And yes, this is probably the first time in the history of a high holiday appeal that the Christmas Carol is being mentioned. But as I watched last December, I was struck that this was not necessarily a Christmas story, but the story of a man who did not participate in his community, his Kehillat, and he was missing out on a more satisfying life because of it. In fact, it could have been any time of year, any holiday, and any religion. The point was, he knew nothing of his family, his employee, the people who lived around him, and even the gentlemen he regularly did business with, because he did not engage them. He shunned them. The spirits pointed out how unfulfilled his life was as a result, and showed him how much more satisfying his life would be if he simply participated. He could be throwing snowballs with the kids, enjoying Cratchit's lovely family, playing games on Christmas with his nephew, and of course, helping his fellow man. And it was all right at his fingertips. He just needed to embrace it. As the story goes, once he embraced his Kehillat and participated, he became a happier, more pleasant, fulfilled person, and he helped out a lot of people in the process. I'm appealing to you to become more involved at TKC because, like my family and like Scrooge learned about his community, you and your family will become more fulfilled by participating in our activities, coming to services, and meeting the people here. I guarantee it. Since Mary and I joined the Kehillat, we have met some amazing people for the last 25 years who are our Kehillat. From Richard and Carol Liebman, who we met at the new member Havdalah in 1998, to Tim and Heidi Weiss, who were on our first O-Night team, to Steve Bush, Andy Abrams, Joel Kahn, Dick Abrahams, Alex Glotter, and Vernon Starr, who I ushered with at the High Holidays, played softball with, and who always seemed to be around these halls whenever I was. And I would be remiss if I left out TKC icons and avid handwritten note writers Tom Bryant and Ulysses Jimenez, learning about leadership and charity from folks like the Minsters, the Silbermans, the Dreffens, and the Lees, and just being privileged to know TKC's historic encyclopedia, Susan Phillips. In fact, Mary and I formed a holiday celebration group with the Korns, the Krolicks, and the Weisses that continues today. I'm leaving a large number of very important people off this list. I couldn't possibly do it justice unless I stood up here all day. But I do want to mention the Lamperts and the Schaefers, because they have become part of my Kehillat and my friends over the last year or two. In fact, and I want you and your families to know all of these people. I want you to arrive at our temple looking forward to seeing them and be more fulfilled as Jews, as people, because you got to know them. And to get to know them, you just need to participate because they are here. So please make your financial commitment to the temple, but also make a commitment to return to this great place that is filled with wonderful people and experiences that will fulfill yourselves, your children, and your grandchildren. And it's just so easy. Join the brotherhood or sisterhood and attend their events. Get your kids involved in the youth groups. Help shape TKC's future by joining the board. Help shape our children by teaching in the religious school. Join a committee or help restart the softball team, which I played on for 20 years. Come to services once a month or just hang out in the social hall during religious school. That's where I met many of these people. You will be glad you did any of these things because you will become more acquainted with the great people here, enhance our Kehillat, and build upon it. And you will be a great part of our Kehillat. At the end of Captain Picard's Christmas Carol, there's a scene where he nervously paces out in front of his nephew's home, trying to gather the courage to join the joyous holiday celebration going on inside. He finally gets the courage up, knocks on the door, goes in, and he's welcomed with open arms. I hope that those of you who are not yet regulars here will stop pacing in our parking lot and enter through those doors. When you do, you will be warmly welcomed, just as Mary and I were, and you will find it just as fulfilling as my family has. Thank you, and Gamar Chatima Tova.
Thank you, Seth.